Hi everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here, and it's time for my weekly comic book reviews. These comics came out January 23rd, 2013. Let's kick it off with Marvel's The Avengers, number 3, concluding the first story arc in Jonathan Hickman's run on The Avengers. Pretty much the Avengers, which consisted of Captain America plus the extended roster that he and Tony Stark came up with a few months before this actual mission, arrive on Mars, and they free the other captured Avengers, which were Hulk, Iron Man, Hawkeye, Thor, and Black Widow. Then pretty much a fight breaks out between them and the antagonists, Ex-Nilos, Abyss, and their robot LF. But then Captain Universe orders Ex-Nilos and Abyss to stop their work and stop their plans to destroy and terraform other worlds with their intention to make it bigger to pretty much end their mission. And of course, Ex-Nilos and Abyss stand down, but LF does not, and Captain Universe just disintegrates LF. So after the disintegration, Ex-Nilos and Captain Universe pretty much tells Ex-Nilos and Abyss that they're welcome to stay on Mars and, play around with it, mess with its evolution, and they're welcome to affect that world, but they can't do anything else, any other inhabited worlds. And also the human creation that Ex-Nilos created called Adam. The Avengers are taking him back to Earth because, according to Captain America, he should be with his own kind, humans. And the last page here is what really hooked me on this series. Was pretty much they said that was the narration, and it said that this started with an idea, and it was by two men, one of life, Captain America, and one of death, Iron Man. So I'm a little intrigued as to what they mean by one man of death. How Iron Man is this sort of man of death. I think that might refer to Age of Ultron, which is coming up soon. That's a possibility. But first story arc, only about 3 parts. It's just one part of this big, huge run that Jonathan Hickman has planned. This is pretty much similar to how he constructed his run on Fantastic Four. But, so far I like this. I like this idea that Captain America and Tony Stark are kind of playing around with the lineup of the Avengers and, adding other Avengers on backup in case one team fails, that they could get another one ready and stuff. I like this whole great idea they have of expansion. I think it's great. I would definitely recommend this series because now I want to get the next couple of story arcs because of this. My advice, though, you could either try and go back and get the first 3 issues, or you can just wait and start reading next week, which is when issue 4 comes out. That's going to be the start of a new story arc, and I think it might be a good jumping on point. But still, this is a very recent series, so you could probably track down the other 2 issues, the first 3 issues, and read from there. But still, Avengers number 3, very awesome, highly recommend it. Alright, moving right along. Uncanny Avengers number 3. Now, with the mind of Charles Xavier, the Red Skull has pretty much mind-controlled every single citizen in New York right now into attacking any mutant citizen. Pretty much not just mutants, but I think also people who possess the X gene. And now a riot breaks out. And Wolverine, Havoc, Captain America, and Thor show up to stop it, but Cap's almost falling victim to the Red Skull's control, but he's still resisting to a degree. I mean, he's not attacking people, but he is kind of feeling the anti-mutant thoughts that Red Skull's putting in everyone's head. So Captain America is still able to resist the Red Skull to a degree. But Thor, however, technically, Thor doesn't fall completely to the Red Skull. It's more of he gets pushed into the Red Skull's thrall by one of the Red Skull's S-men called Honest John, who mind controls Thor, then hands control over the Red Skull, and now Thor pretty much is under the control of the Red Skull. And also, Scarlet Witch and Rogue find Wolverine, and they tell Wolverine that the Red Skull stole Charles Xavier's brain. And, of course, that gets Logan into his berserker mode. And right when Logan's about to kill the Red Skull, Thor shows up and unfortunately takes Wolverine out. So, and that's pretty much where the issue ends. Uncanny Avengers. Well, it's not exactly a short story arc, but so far I think it has some great potential in it. It's still, kind of the idea of Uncanny Avengers is to have a team of both Avengers and X-Men, which I think is a good idea. But right now they're trying to get through all this tension with everyone has with the mutants because of the events of Avengers vs. X-Men and the Phoenix Five. So, I think that's what this story arc is about. It's trying to move past it so that mutants and humans can work together. But so far the story arc is very well crafted. It's moving at, I think, at a good pace. I would recommend it to people. I'd recommend that they give it a shot, but they should really, give it a try, but it's right now we're kind of at the halfway point, so if you can go back and find the last 2 issues, then great, but if not, you may want to wait till this story arc is concluded, then jump on with the next one. Okay, next up, Young Avengers #1. Alright, well, and of course this is one of the Marvel Now series that I've been waiting for since its announcement. Alright, first off, for 2 of our members, Kate Bishop, aka Hawkeye II, wakes up after spending a night with Novar, aka Marvel Boy, aka Protector, and suddenly they're attacked by a Skrull fleet right as they're in Earth's orbit. That's pretty much their entire appearance in the story. Meanwhile, back on Earth, it's been revealed that Hulkling has been going out for the past few nights fighting crime, but since he's a shapeshifter, he's been taking on the forms of other heroes, such as Spider-Man. And when he gets back this time, Billy, his boyfriend, is there to talk to him, and he tells him that, we agreed not to do this anymore, but, Hulkling's like, we are lucky to be here, we're lucky to have powers, and also, he tells Billy that he's lucky to have, 2 sets of parents, because he is technically the Scarlet Witch's son, and he also has his biological parents, I think. I'm not entirely sure how it works out, Tay's like, okay, yeah, I forgive you, and Billy's like, yeah, okay, I understand what you're saying, dude, I forgive you and stuff, and then later Billy goes into his closet, and he starts casting a spell that lets him view all possible worlds. Meanwhile, on the roof of Billy and Teddy's apartment building, Kid Loki shows up, and he's about to interfere with what Billy's doing, but then Miss America shows up and attacks Loki. Teddy hears the noise, he goes up and investigates, but then Loki and Miss America get away before he has the chance to talk to them. And when Teddy goes back downstairs, he finds out that Billy was able to pull Teddy's adoptive mother, who was also a Skrull, from maybe 1 second before her death, and saved her. So Teddy's happy he has his mom back, but later after the boys go to sleep, Teddy's mom talks to Billy's parents, and she explains that she doesn't want Teddy to be in a romantic relationship since he's only 17, and then she attacks Billy's parents, and by the looks of it, she may have killed them. Alright, well, Young Avengers #1. First off, team up. I like that we have some new members. Okay, I like that, but there are a few things that I think are left unanswered. Like, what happened to Billy's twin brother, Tommy, who has super speed, and he's also has, who's also the other son of the Scarlet Witch, and also know what happened to him. All we hear is that Teddy said that, dude, your parents are so awesome that they actually had Tommy leave. So, Tommy wasn't kicked out. He left. So we don't know what happened to him. And also, the good thing one of the good things I think about this is that it's mostly focused on 2 veteran members, Billy and Teddy, which I like. It gives old fans of Young Avengers to, get back on this with some familiar characters, but with also a brief introduction to some new ones. And I use the term brief very loosely. All I can say is first issue, I am a little interested into what's going on with Teddy's mom, but and I do recommend this to fans of Young Avengers. However, everyone else, I think if you didn't read Avengers Children's Crusade or any of the previous Young Avengers stories, you might be a little lost with this. So right now, I'd recommend this to Young Avengers fans if you're willing to give it a shot, especially since this book's only $2.99. So, okay, now that we're done with Marvel, let's talk about DC. First off, Superboy Annual number 1. Superboy and Superman just travel through various pocket dimensions, fight some space pirates, and they do start to bond a little, and then they're eventually returned to the Fortress of Solitude. That's pretty much this entire annual in a nutshell. I really shouldn't have gotten it. Really, I thought this was going to be important to Hell on Earth, but honestly, it really wasn't. It was just another way to sort of, to help Superboy and Superman form a little bit more of a closer relationship. They do bond a little in this issue, but that's pretty much it. I mean, honestly, if you're a fan of the Superboy and Superman relationship, then yeah, pick it up. But other than that, if you think this has anything to do with Hell on Earth, it really doesn't. Okay, it doesn't. So save yourself the $5 if you're only going to read this for Hell on Earth, and don't get it. Okay? Supergirl number 16, and yes, this one actually is relevant to Hell on Earth. Supergirl fights the Flash, and yeah, that's pretty much what happens. Supergirl fights the Flash. Their fight does eventually lead them to the zoo area in the Fortress of Solitude. Also, Krypto makes an appearance when he thinks Kara's being attacked, and right when it seems like the Flash has the upper hand, when he finds a weapon in Superman's armory that runs on kinetic energy, Hell shows up, and he just basically teleports Flash back to the Justice League watchtower. And Hell then shows Kara that their time travel device is complete. So that's pretty much what happens here. Yeah, Hell on Earth, only reason to get this. Or if you've ever been curious about what a fight between Supergirl and Flash would be like, that's pretty much the only reason I can think of anyone would want to pick this up, because really Hell on Earth is the only reason I'm getting Supergirl right now. That's pretty much it. Okay, next book. Green Lantern number 16. This is the cover for the combo pack. Funny story, when I got to my comic shop this week, they didn't have... The distributor forgot to ship them the regular non-combo... the regular issues of Green Lantern this week. It was strange. I got there and they said... the Green Lantern issues didn't come. I mean, we have the combo packs, but, and I saw it, and I was like, okay, it's only $1 more, so I just figured I'd get it. And, and I'm glad I did, because in this issue, it picks up right where the last one left off. Bidig, the Squirrel Green Lantern, helps Simon Boz find his power battery, which was at the cemetery where Hal and Sinestro fought Blackhand before they were sent to the Death Zone. And once Boz finds his power battery and recharges his ring, Bidig also helps him unscramble the recorded message that was left in the ring. And the reason the messages were kind of scrambled is because Hal Jordan and Sinestro were both sharing the power of one ring. So their thoughts kind of got mixed in with each other, but fortunately, Simon is able to unscramble the messages and play them separately. Hal's message is basically a warning about how Blackhand and the Guardians and what they're doing, but Sinestro's is pretty much more of a mission, saying that if you go find Arquilo, who's still loyal to Sinestro, and with his help you can destroy the Guardians. That's Sinestro's message. Honestly, I'm kind of leaning towards following Sinestro's message right now. So after Bidig also grabs the Book of Black, which is left behind, and Simon then, after hearing that this ring can do anything you will it to, he heads to the hospital where his brother-in-law and best friend is in a coma, and amazingly enough, he's able to use his power ring to heal his brother-in-law's wounds and wake him up, which is great. And then suddenly Bidig and Simon hear a news bulletin that says Guy Gardner has just been arrested for assaulting a police officer, and so they decide, and so when Bidig hears this, he's like, oh man, we gotta help Guy Gardner. So Simon agrees to go with him, and they go to free Guy Gardner. Meanwhile, in the Death Zone with Hal and Sinestro, we learn that the hooded figure that's been guiding them the past few issues is actually Tomar-Re, and he warns them about what the First Lantern, aka Volthoom, has planning. So a little revelation for what Hal and Sinestro are doing. Simon Baz actually has a fully charged ring, which is great because now he's back in the Green Lantern game. Also, we learn the reason why Simon carries a gun with him now. Because I remember when the first image of Simon Baz as a Green Lantern showed up, he was holding a gun, and I'm like, wait, why is he holding a gun? And in this issue, he explains it. He still keeps the gun with him after his ring's fully charged, and Bidig asks why he's doing this, and Simon just basically says that, I've seen what this ring can be like when it's not uncharged, and I think I need a backup just in case. So, and of course, if you've read the last few issues and you saw Simon without the power ring, you kind of understand, that kind of makes sense now. That he would carry the gun as just kind of a backup in case he can't charge his ring, or in case his ring runs out of power. So there's a good explanation for that. And like I said, Bidig and Simon go to help Guy Gardner, which is continued in Green Lantern Corps number 16. I went back to the comic shop after I read that when it said it was continued in Green Lantern Corps 16, and so I went back there, got this, so that I could follow up on this, because this is when Rise of the Third Army is going to conclude. The conclusion starts in Green Lantern 16, then it continues into Green Lantern Corps 16, and next week when Green Lantern Corps Annual comes out, that's when Rise of the Third Army will reach its conclusion. Right, so for Green Lantern Corps 16, the Guardians order the Third Army to attack the prisoner where Guy Gardner is being held. And also, Guy's brother and sister visit him while he's in prison and ask what's going on, why aren't you a Green Lantern anymore and stuff. And of course, while they're visiting, that's when the Third Army attacks. And also, Simon Baz and Bidig show up, and Guy pretty much orders Bidig to get all the convicts, guards, and his brother and sister out of there to safety, which Bidig does. And also, he instructs Simon and Bidig how to destroy the Third Army, which they're able to do. And after that's taken care of, the trio head to the moon, where pretty much Bidig has Simon explain to Guy what's going on, and Simon gets ready to show Guy Hal Jordan and Sinestro's final messages. And that's pretty much where the issue ends. Green Lantern Corps 16. Well, God, man, at least finally Simon Baz is, is finally meeting other members of the Green Lantern Corps now. That's all I can say. Finally, ever since he got the ring, he hasn't really interacted with anyone. I mean, there was the Justice League, that one issue, but I meant like the Green Lantern Corps instead. And well, I'm glad that's finally happening. And also, I want to see what happens to Simon after the whole Rise of the Third Army mess, and what's going to happen to the Guardians for another thing. So if you want to see the conclusion of the Third Army, I'd say pick up Green Lantern Corps Annual next week. I'm going to do it so I can see how this ends. Also, another thing, I'd say if you are reading Green Lantern Corps right now, I would say get Green Lantern 16, because without it you may be a little lost as to how Simon and Bidig just show up in Green Lantern Corps number 16. So, and also another thing about Green Lantern Corps 16 that I liked is, like, when Simon and Simon and Guy talk to each other, they are pretty similar in a way. Like, I mean, even after they clear out the prison and take care of the Third Army, they like say something at the. They have one line where it's like they say it at the exact same time, and so I thought that was very very nice, very a little interesting. But yeah, ultimately it's up to you. I'm pretty sure if you're reading Green Lantern Corps, you're going to get the annual, but it pretty much all leads into the annual, which is going to tie up Rise of the Third Army. Okay, moving on, finally. Justice League number 16, Part 3 of Thrones of Atlantis. Aquaman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman deal with Orm and the first fleet of the Atlantean army until Orm gains the upper hand and pretty much sends the Justice League into separate parts of the ocean. And when this happens, and while this is going on, Cyborg finds Aquaman's friend Dr. Shin and brings him back to the Watchtower for safekeeping. Then Cyborg goes to Star Labs so he can talk to his dad can upgrade his armor with this environmental mode, because he's gonna need it because apparently it's revealed in this issue that Orm's trident can control storms and tides. And while Cyborg's getting his armor upgraded, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say armor, tech, yeah, because technically Cyborg isn't wearing armor, he's, well, Cyborg. And so while Cyborg's getting upgraded, he activates a recruitment plan. So now the Justice League is going to get new members. And pretty much Cyborg just like puts out a message to certain heroes saying that, you know, we need your help. The Justice League needs you. Come help us. And the messages are, in case you're wondering, the messages are sent to Element Woman, Green Arrow, Black Lightning, Shazam, Hawkman, Vixen, Zatanna, Gold Rush, Black Canary, and Firestorm. Oh, also, the Shazam co-feature in this issue, Captain Marvel fights Black Adam until Captain Marvel turns back into Billy Batson and runs and hides. That's the Shazam co-feature. But the Justice League issue, I like the ending. I like how you know, Cyborg had this sort of plan in case, you know, the League couldn't make, in case the League was incapacitated. He must have thought of a backup plan, so it's good to have that. And I think it is interesting that he put out a call to several heroes, and I'm curious about who will answer the call and if the Justice League will get any more new members, because I think they should expand. I mean, it's been about 5 years and they've had the same 7 members, well, at least until after the second story arc when Green Lantern quit. But yeah, also Thrones of Atlantis, in case you were wondering, Aquaman did side with the League against and tried to talk sense to Orm, but Orm wouldn't listen and accused Arthur of being a traitor, so that's why Orm attacked Arthur. But yeah, I'm liking Thrones of Atlantis so far, especially the ending in this where we might get new members of the Justice League. I say good, because, you know, as much as I love the Justice League being mostly consisting of the A-list heroes, I would like them to mix it up a little with some other heroes. Just saying. And again, I'm curious about who's going to answer the call, although several of the heroes that were mentioned, they're either part... I know that Zatanna's part of Justice League Dark, and also I know that Hawkman and Black Canary and Green Arrow are going to be part of Justice League... No, wait, not Black Canary, sorry. Just Green Arrow and Hawkman are going to be part of Justice League of America, so, you know... So they may or may not be joining, but still, I'm hopeful. I'm hoping for the best. I hope they do join the Justice League, but maybe not. Okay, next book, Death in the Family tie-in, Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 16. Arsenal leads the Starfire and the Teen Titans to calm all the Jokerized citizens, and also to help. Also, they find a cure which. To the Joker venom that the citizens are infected by, and they're able to cure and basically they are able to stop the mob and cure all the citizens. And another thing about this issue is that more about Roy's time in Gotham is revealed, you know, when he, pretty much before he became Arsenal, when he was kind of, you know, down on his luck, so to speak, and he met Killer Croc. More about that meeting is revealed in this issue. Also, there are a few teasers for, I think, some future storylines. There are some teasers about Hugo Strange, and also maybe a future storyline involving Deathstroke going after Red Hood and the Outlaws. But all I can say is this is really more of a focus on Roy Harper than anyone else. Heck, they don't even show what's happening with Jason Todd and Tim Drake in this issue, so I'm not even sure if this can really count as a tie into Death in the Family. I thought there was going to be more revealed than this, but that sucks. So I guess what's going on with Red Hood and Red Robin might take place in Teen Titans next week, which I hope it does. Also, I would pretty much the only type of person I would recommend this book to is just Roy Harper fans, because I think they might. Because, if you're a fan of Roy Harper, you might appreciate a little more information about his backstory. But, other than that, it wasn't really much worth. It's not really. This really isn't a Death in the Family tie-in. It's more of just, the Outlaws teaming up with the Titans in this issue. That's it. And also more information about Roy Harper. So, I can only pretty much if you are a Roy Harper fan, you might like this. If not, then you should just skip it. Alright, now for a real Death in the Family tie-in. Nightwing, number 16. Alright, continuing from the last issue, Nightwing returns to Haley's Circus, where when Dick Grayson enters the Big Top, he discovers that Joker dug up all the corpses of the past Haley Circus members and just hung them inside the Big Top. And then suddenly Joker triggers a series of explosives across the circus, which Nightwing gets hit by, and then Nightwing just gets mad and starts pounding and beating on the Joker until the members of the current Haley Circus show up, but they're all infected by the Joker toxin. And then they all gang up on Nightwing and beat him until he's unconscious. And after that, and while Nightwing's regaining consciousness, Joker has him tied up and he's dragging him to a cave, where he also teases Nightwing a little with the same serving platter we saw at the end of Batman 16, and also I think it was at the end of Batgirl 16. So yeah, this was definitely a way better Death in the Family tie-in than this. Okay, so if you can only get one Death in the Family tie-in, get Nightwing, not this. But back to the actual Nightwing issue, I have really been enjoying Nightwing, okay? I really wish I'd started picking this up when the new 52 started. Because this is one of the most amazing DC comics out there, okay? And also, again, they're teasing us more with whether or not Joker actually does know who they are. Because when Nightwing discovers that Joker hung up all the Haley Circus members' corpses, Joker teases him a little by saying, okay, this may be a little too... Well, Joker says, okay, this may be over the top even for me, but at least I didn't hang any bones from the trapeze line. So, yeah, there's a little more hint. So there's some more hints that he may know that Nightwing is Dick Grayson. And also when Dick was... right before Dick gets hit by right before Dick gets beat up by all the current Haley Circus members, he does briefly hallucinate seeing his dead friends that were killed by the Joker, Jimmy the Clown, and also Rhea from last issue. This was pretty... I think when I was reading this and what Joker was doing to Nightwing, I thought, wow, this is intense. Kyle Higgins, the writer of this, he's doing a very good job on this. It's amazing. It really is amazing when you read it. He's doing an amazing job still trying to tie all this into what's going on in Batman. Wow, it's just really good. Okay, that's the only way I can describe this book, is that it's probably right after Batman. It's probably one of the other better DC comics out there. Okay, one of the best. Because again, I remember when people kept asking me like, "Oh, why aren't you reading Nightwing?" Kept asking me when I wasn't getting Nightwing, like, "Why aren't you reading this? It's so good, it's so good." Then finally, I got the first story arc, and I'm like, "Wow, this is great." And so I started picking this up around issue 13, and I'm very glad, especially now for Death in the Family, because Nightwing is definitely one of the tie-ins you'd want to get. Okay? Alright, well, that's everything. Thanks. Quick little recap. Nightwing. Definitely a worthy Death in the Family tie-in. If you can only get Batman and another series, I would highly recommend you get this one. Red Hood and the Outlaws number 16. Only get this if you're a Roy Harper fan. Justice League number 16. Ocean Master takes out Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman. But Cyborg has a backup plan. And we're teased with who might answer the call. I hope someone does. Green Lantern Corps number 16. And also Green Lantern number 16. The first two parts and the conclusion of the Third Army. Simon Boss finally gets his power ring charged, and Guy Gardner gets broken out of prison. Interesting. Supergirl number 16. Supergirl fights the Flash. That's it. Superboy Annual number 1. Really not worth $5. Young Avengers number 1. Really like how the first issue focuses on two of the veteran members of the team. I am a little curious about what's happening though, but I'm not like fully pumped about it. But still, it's a great series. But still, it's a great opening to what I hope will be an awesome series. Uncanny Avengers number 3. The Red Skull continues to abuse Charles Xavier's brain. Really hope Wolverine kills him. And Avengers number 3. The first story arc is done. So far, this is a great series. I would really recommend this to people to give it a shot. And that's everything. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Spider-Man 1991 saying see you later.